Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach and athletic director Jason Holman, fighting Indians at home last Friday night in an absolute rainstorm, playing Lindale in the last home game of the season. Coach, this was a game that your hopes were still alive. Coming into the ball game, a lot of teams had moved their games, but this game stayed on Friday in the rain, and your offense really did a nice job in scoring and throwing, just like there wasn't any rain at all. Defense, this was a good running Lindale team, and they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah. Well, offensively, we practiced down the hill in Happy Valley for the majority of the year in the mornings, and a lot of dew on the ground, so it's almost wet ball drill every time we go down there. And I think that had a lot to do with how well we handled the ball, not only snapping it but throwing it, and just ball security altogether. They were very big up front, very physical running attack, and then we had our struggles stopping the run. But overall, I was proud of our kids. We stayed in the fight all the way up until the end. They scored late to kind of make it a little bit more separated than what it really should have been.
Yeah, you're kicking an onside kick with down 8 with a chance to go in and tie the game. They scored late, as you said. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we had, of course, one that was called back. We had an opportunity to close it within a score. There were chances. They were there. We just couldn't quite get it done.
Again, offensively, you couldn't ask for more. Ryan got protection, was able to get the ball out. Running the ball was a little bit more difficult than maybe had something to do with the wet turf, but throwing and catching was great. But you're right, their offensive line is everything that you thought it was.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they do a great job of controlling the clock and just pounding on you, pounding you into submission there for 4 quarters. We did have a little trouble running the football, but I think that was kind of due to the fact they were really packed in there tight, trying to take that away, kind of anticipating that, I think, early, in particular because of the weather. And that opened up some good passing lanes for us. We were able to get the ball in some of our skilled positions' hands and out in space and make things happen.
Let's look at some of the highlights. Jacksonville versus Lindale. This was a strange play. It looked like a fumble, but John held on to it long enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hollering at the offensive line to go tackle him at that point, but he had broken the plane with the ball.
Here's Dwaylen with a nice run for 11.
Good run to the outside and good job picking up our blocks with our pullers coming around.
And here's the first of 2 Ryan Dakota touchdowns for 55.
Yeah, it's great football. I mean, Ryan put it in a great place where we were going to catch it. It was going to be incomplete. Of course, Coda got it done.
Here's Big D with a TFL from 3.
Yeah, it's a great play by him, getting flat down the line and making a play on a stretch.
Here comes Cash with a good pass break up at the goal line, just knocks it away here.
Yeah, it's a good job of being in position and going up and playing through the ball.
And here's the second Ryan Dakota TD from 55. Lord, watch how he cuts back and avoids the tackler.
Yeah, we've got him right there on a little fake. We'd thrown some screens, and they were kind of bit on those, and we got behind them.
Here comes Devin McEwen getting in with a 4th touchdown pass from Ryan from 64.
Yeah, this was later in the game. Kind of got us back into striking distance, kept our hopes alive.
Coach, interesting stat of the ball game. Lindale was not penalized one time. Did you notice that? I thought that was.
I don't know that I knew that exactly, but it sure felt that way in the game.
Yeah, not one penalty, and your team was penalized 8 times, and some of them were interesting. Let me just say that from where we were sitting up in the booth. So
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So all right, let's move on to Henderson. Coach, it's the last game of the year, and this is a pride game. Henderson also playing in a pride game, and it'll be their senior night. Henderson's a football team that you look at them. Not just on paper. When they get off the bus, they have some good-looking kids, but they've struggled this year as well. But I know they're going to give it all to you Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be their senior night this time around and their last chance to play in their home stadium. So we're expecting a fight. Of course, they put up a good game against Palestine. I believe they lost 35-37 last week to them. They've got the capability to score. They can certainly stretch the field on you. You've got a big, tall quarterback that'll run as well. Got a good receiving core and good running back. So we're going to have our challenges cut out for us defensively. We're going to have to control them. And then, I like how we match up with them offensively. I feel like we've got a little bit of an edge in our skill positions. I'm hoping we can utilize that and, really break the game open on them is my hope. we just got to go and, like you say, play for pride, play for pride, and just get after it, and hang it out all on the line, and have a great night. Hope to end it on the right note.
Watching Henderson offensively, of course, the quarterback Robinson, the coach's son, Boston College commit, and throwing to his brother. I mean, they're weapons, but they also, like you said, they have a good running back. They have they can be physical, and I've watched some of their huddle highlights, and they've just had some of the same kind of things that have bitten them this year that have bitten your team: mistakes, penalties, fumbles at the wrong time. But they're capable, and they also they can stop you too.
Yeah, they certainly are. They were penalized quite a bit against Lindale as well. I don't know. They must have had in the realm of 8 to 10 false start penalties, I think, in that game. So yeah, they've struggled a little bit in that regard. But when they've gotten it going and they're clicking on all cylinders, they're a formidable offense to stop, and they've got the weapons to move the ball.
Coach, it's the last game. Saying goodbye to 26 seniors, and I know you want to finish on a strong note for the younger players for next year and everything. If you could just kind of talk a little bit about where you think this program is right now. Obviously, you wanted to make the playoffs this year. That didn't happen. But going into this last game, how do you feel where you are right now?
Well, clearly we're not there. I mean, we've got to get over the hump. We've got to start making good on the 3 or 4 games that we should have won clearly. And some of the mistakes that you mentioned earlier, we've got to nullify those. But most importantly, we tell our kids all the time, I'm not in this, our coaches are not in this for the sake of just wins and losses. We want our kids to go away from Jacksonville High School having had a great experience, having the tools necessary to go out in life and achieve things and be a success. And, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. And that's what we want for the senior class that's leaving us at this point after Friday night. The young kids, they'll be here. We're going to put our head down and go to work with them, and try to rectify some of the things that we weren't able to accomplish this year, and just keep building on it.
Last thing, Coach, let's get back to football. What are the keys for Jacksonville to get the win this week?
Well, don't know how the weather's going to play out yet, although it seems to be a possibility in the forecast. So we've got to play well in the weather like we did last Friday. Got to handle the football. Of course, any game that that's going to be highly contested, the kicking game is going to be huge, and we've got to make sure we're taking care of everything in that regard. I was proud of our kickoff team last week. I thought we did a great job of covering. We had one hiccup when they kicked the onside that kind of caught us, but overall, I thought our special teams did a good job. Skylar Whitaker kicked a heck of a punt from the 2-yard line. I think it totaled about 58 yards and kind of flipped the field on them. So we got to keep doing those sorts of things. And then defensively, we've got to show up. We've got to get stops, and we've got to get off the field on 3rd down.
It's Jacksonville and Henderson for the 85th time. We'll be at Lions Stadium. Kickoff coming up at 7:30 for head coach Jason Holman. I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.